Welcome
Welcome
to Shade
to
in the
Shade in the
City.
City.
I'm Treese.
It's Nels.
And welcome to our review of Put a Ring on It, the show that should not be a show, right? Well, it should be a show if it had the right people on it. However,
damn.
we do love our messy couples, dysfunctional and all. So let's get into it. Let's not waste time. And let's see what crazy Kenny got going on this episode.
So we pick up where we left off in the middle of a brawl, y'all, between Shay and Tay Cherie. Fonzo says he doesn't feel like Shay overreacted because this is who she is. She's a jealous woman, and this type of shit that she do. She don't like to see him with another woman, which makes me think like, has this happened before? Like, what do you mean she don't like to see
I said that last review. This has clearly happened before. He's used to this shit. And you know what makes it even worse? He likes it. He likes it.
Then Shay over there lying, talking about somebody. I wasn't talking to her. I was talking to you. As they making their way in the parking lot to to take off.
Lies you tell.
That's exactly lies you tell. Because what you said was, were you talking to me? Because you over here looking at me. That's what got it started. Okay. Right. Over there lying, boo. So they hop in the car, and they take off and they leave Asar, excuse me, guys, and Tay Cherie. And they had their own little day. They get well acquainted, eat the food that Fonzo and well, not Fonzo, that Asar and
Shay ordered
didn't touch. So
can I just say that I could have sworn we said this last review that this was gonna happen. Because what is it, Asar? He looks like a smart man. He's like, I ain't gonna let this go to waste. And if I'm not mistaken, production is paying for this. Oh no, I'm gonna eat this food.
Let's enjoy it. It's me.
Oh, is this y'all paying for these shots too? Can I get another one?
Right. We need, after all of this,
Right.
Look, can we get a gift card or something to come back? Because we didn't deal with a whole bunch of shit, right?
Oh, see, I couldn't have been Asar because I would have milked that. I'd be like, well, I won't speak publicly about this incident or go to the police if we can make sure.
Like you saw me almost get hit with a plate, right?
Right.
I was in the thick of it. Okay. Where was your security?
Right.
So then we head over to.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, okay.
So I just have to say this foolishness. So they asked Shay in the confessional about what was that about, crazy? And she's like, well, Fonzo disregarded my feelings. So I don't know how old Shay is. And I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be an ageist. I am not the oldest person in the world. However, I do think with age comes wisdom. And this shit here, I feel like if you really felt that disregarded, that could have been some shit that you talked about when you get home. That could have been an adult, right? An adult, I feel like, would have handled it that way, or just not even gave him attention at all and make him feel some sort of way. But it goes back to my point. I think
that played it like Char.
Right. But it goes back to my point, and I think that you mentioned something last review where I think maybe he wasn't the man's. Like maybe he wasn't that guy when he was younger. And now that he got a girl crazy falling all over the place for him, losing her mind, and I'm sure other women too because of the profession that he's in, but she's clearly the craziest. That's why she got him. And I don't know. I think he likes it, and I think it's a very toxic relationship because I think he feeds off of it. I think he likes to see her act like this. It boosts his ego and his self-esteem.
Absolutely.
So there's problems on both sides because he's clearly getting off on that.
Mm-hmm. So then we head over to Kenneth and Shorty's place, and Shorty is super excited to go on her date. She basically hopping and skipping through the house. Like, ooh. Look, she's shooting hit the trees, look, singing through the house. Right?
Ain't no nigga like the one I ain't got. No one can. You better.
I don't think she would have been singing that. She happy to go meet another nigga.
No, you said I said it ain't no nigga like the one I ain't got.
Oh, like the one I ain't got? Yeah. I can't deal with you, Trees.
Oh, you want me? Cause I'm single, but I'm single. Hey, had to cancel that bitch like me know. Hey. Y'all ain't know. I do it both. I rap and I sing.
That's the one. That's the one. So then her date, Tavy, shows up with flowers, and Shorty over there. What?
I really wanted his name to be Tavi, but I'm not judging your mama. I just really wanted.
You know what? The way it's spelled, I would have pronounced it Tavi also, but he said Tavy, so we're gonna say Tavy.
We're gonna
get it right for you.
And Tavy got from Florida, y'all. Okay, Tavy.
Mm-hmm. Orlando, right?
He said he was from the Orlando area, and here come Kenneth. I spent some time out there. I spent a little while out there. I said, are you gonna be doing this on every day she go on? If the motherfucker from Idaho come, are you gonna say that you was out there eating?
I was out there eating potatoes.
Right.
So yes, he's a receiver or was a receiver, and played football in Orlando, which Shorty finds super attractive. Okay,
and of course, Kenny gotta be like, you know, I used to do that too.
You said what?
Kenny gotta be like, you know, I used to do that too.
You ain't used to do shit. Okay, you ain't do a goddamn thing. So, she finds it super attractive that he's athletic, he's muscular. You know, she sees he did something with his life, right? And we find out actually, so I don't know. I just feel like the fact that she's saying this is her type versus what she got, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to know. Mm-hmm. So Shorty and Tavy, they go out. Looks like they go out to get some drinks. And she orders a Sprite. He over here ordering a pussy galore. The drink, y'all. Pussy galore. And I feel like he just did it for the wow factor. He probably don't even give what it tastes like because it sounds like it's some female drink.
But it did look cute. I don't know if it's strong. Maybe it's strong. It did look cute because it came out looking pink. And
I said it looked like it sounded like it's a female drink. I think he just did it for the wow factor because.
Or maybe he wanted her to have some of the pussy galore.
She said, "No, I'll just take a Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
Sprite me, please." Then we see, well, they're having a great conversation. Looks like the vibe is great.
Lets him know that she's from Columbus, Georgia. And he says that he used to live in Phoenix City, which apparently is right across the bridge. So they do have that in common where they are from similar spaces, which I was like,
look, she's giving me Kenneth right now. Oh, you was over there?
Right, you was over there too? Like what she like, I'm just saying.
Right. We also find out that he has a 16-year-old daughter and a soon-to-be 3-year-old son. So he has kids already. Do we know if Shorty wants kids?
I don't think that's been talked about.
Okay.
One thing that I did think was really dope or interesting is that Shorty tells us in the confessional that she loves the fact that Tavi is a mature adult and he has his business affairs in order and he's secure in himself as a man. And she said that's not the same goals that Ken has. And when they first met, which I told y'all, she looking for a way out. She lets us know. He told her he was doing all of these things and, you know, he was this entrepreneur. And by the time she got a chance to realize what it really was, she was already in love. What does that mean? What that mouth do? What that mouth do? That's what that means. That she can't even, at that point, he might be broke as all get out, but what his mouth do is more important than him having a job or doing anything else.
Girl.
And basically she's like, I didn't realize I was out of his league until it was too late. And I thought those were very strong words. I have been with a man that has not been up to par when it comes to things like that. And I don't think I've ever said he was out of my league. Then it was just broke. But I didn't think that he was that. That's a very strong statement. And I don't know how she's even with him making a statement like that. But again, like I said, I think she's looking for a way out.
We meet Santrell.
Oh.
Which is...
I'm sorry. Did my facial expressions give it away?
What?
I said, did my facial expressions give it away?
It wasn't just a facial expression.
Oh, okay.
So we meet Santrell, who is from Oakland, California. This is Kenneth's date. Basically, she lets us know she is out of something new. Kenneth lets her know that he is still in something, very much in something. But she says she's a flirt, and she like that. She put her claws in, put them paws on you. So Latrice is not feeling Santrell.
So if Shade Squad, if y'all have watched us enough, you will know that Nels has a saying, and it's called putting your titties on the table.
I don't say titties, but
whatever you want to call it, you're putting it on the table. And all I'm saying is that on a first date, you don't know this man from a can of paint. And you're like, yeah, and I like to flirt, and that's how I get them. And if your girl don't do this, well, you need to have fun with your girl. If you don't have fun with her, then that means you're supposed to do everything with her. And no, not every man wants the slut or the hoe to be their wife. There is a difference. That's why it's separate. That's why it's separate. They might want her to be a freak in the bedroom, but they don't want her to put her titties on the table the first time she meets somebody. I'm sorry.
So,
but not sorry.
I don't know.
Because as Nell says, it's different when it's reciprocated. But Kenny wasn't giving that energy. We all know that. Kenny's too far up Shorty's ass.
The fact that Kenny even said, because she said, I'm freshly out of something. He said, oh, well, I'm still in something. Like, it's just for the process.
Right.
This is not something I would do normally. But
I don't know. I just didn't like her vibe. It came off very pick me. She's a pick me.
Talking about some harsh statements. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Jesus. So they go to the same place. What, Vesper?
That was the name of it. I did see
What was it?
Vesper.
That Shorty and her date are at. And they literally sit right in front of them. It's like a couch. They sit right in front of them.
But their backs are to them. So
exactly. And this girl, Santrell, just keeps on turning. Looking at Shorty.
But then asking,
looking at her.
So are you bothered? Does it bother? Well, don't worry. I'll keep my ear open for you. Sweetheart, be more worried about the pussy that's laying on the table. Why are you concerned about what Shorty's doing? If that ain't some real hater shit, I don't know. I wasn't feeling her. I was not. I'm sorry, Shade Squad. Tell me if y'all disagree. Maybe I'm being hard. I was not feeling her. That wouldn't be my type of chick. I'm sorry. That wouldn't be my type of chick that I like.
I mean, Jesus. I wasn't feeling her like that either, but you went in like, as soon as I said her name, God, Trace, Jesus.
She's a beautiful. What makes me mad, Shade Squad, she's a beautiful girl. She doesn't have to do that. She does not have to do that. So for any of y'all that want to hop in the comments because y'all know her and that's your friend or your cousin, just tell her she's beautiful. She ain't got to do all that. Go ahead.
We don't want no problems open.
Right.
We love Cali.
Right. Oh, yeah. We really don't want no problems with Oakland. We don't want no problems. But I go hyphy. Don't try me.
You're an idiot. Shorty and her date eventually leave, and this is where Santrell felt the need to open up and say, hey, if you're the type that like to have fun, you need a woman in your life that likes to have fun also. And basically, in his ear, giving him this BS. And, he's eating it all up. Yeah, I think.
What we found out was she was a bartender waitress. She moved from Oakland because a friend asked her to move to Atlanta. And so she's a bartender waitress. So you don't go out a lot? You don't? Well, clearly you don't either. And maybe that's why you're not in a relationship now, Chantrell. Maybe you need to sit your ass down and take some time for yourself and maybe consider new career opportunities. And maybe you'll have a man.
And on that note, I'm going to take a sip. Dr. Nicole, you can hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Microphone check. She stops by to see Shay and find out what's going on and the whole drama that happened. Because it was a whole lot. It was a whole lot. And Shay is talking about how she feels like, she got out of character. And she's upset with herself, when she thinks back on the way she
when she played acted. It back in her mind, she was like, oh my God.
Fonzo said he wasn't surprised by how she acted because that's how she did. Because she's jealous. So, yeah, you putting on for the cameras, but Fonzo already threw you under the bus, but we know that's how you get down. I'm just saying. Right. Dr. Nicole tells her that basically like the data that you're coming to find out, you kind of short circuit yourself because you're intervening.
Mm-hmm.
To let the shit play out the way it's going to play out. And if you want
you have to trust your man to hope that it's not going to play out differently.
And if you want him to choose you, you need to give him the space to do so because you are intervening. And, Shay was like, well, I didn't really think that I was intervening, but, or sabotaging myself. Why are you looking at me like that?
No. That sounds so stupid, but go ahead. No, what I mean is what she said.
Yeah, she said
she sat in the therapy and said, no, I'm never going to do anything to help my man, another woman, go on a date with my man. She said that openly. So for her to sit and say, I never knew I was sabotaging myself. No, Dr. Nicole told you that the last therapy session. So that's
I think maybe she sees it as just sabotaging his date. Sabotaging his date or sabotaging any type of future with another woman. She doesn't see it as her sabotaging herself. But she always says, oh, he treats me like I'm Casper. Oh, like I'm not even here. But you're not giving. And basically, Dr. Nicole is like, you're not giving him the space to even show you that I do see you. I do acknowledge you, even though I'm out here on this date. Because he was there for like what?
He wasn't there. I was going to say he wasn't there for all the 2 minutes before she was like, you don't see me? Hi, exactly. How you doing?
So then Dr. Nicole wants to know the rundown about how he took the ring back. She's like, okay, y'all are engaged, but, fill in the blanks. How did the ring get taken back? And she says that, yes, they were engaged. They were going to the courthouse to get married. And I think a few hours before they went, this is when the girl plastered online the picture.
Fonzo was the love of her life.
What gets me is she still went to the courthouse today.
I think that spoke volumes to Dr. Nicole. Shay keeps giving us this narrative that when she's
last time, this is it. I know I ain't going
last time, but you still went to the courthouse knowing that there's some woman out there that feels like that's the love of her life, and he can't explain to you why she feels that way.
What got me, and I told Treese, I said, it also spoke volumes to me that she posted this just a few hours before they were going to get married. And that gave me the vibe that she knew that they were going to get married, and that's why she posted it.
Right.
For one, wherever she posted or however she posted, she knew you were going to see it. And she happened to do it a few hours before you were going to get married. So it would have gave me the vibe that she knew that y'all were going to get married, which means Fonzo expressed that to her. And this is clearly some bitch that Fonzo was really fucking with. So
right. Because he still clearly talked to her.
Anyway, she says that they went to the courthouse even after that, but they are not officially married because she didn't realize that she had to bring an officiant to the courthouse in Vegas, which I'm confused about that.
We were both confused. We had like a 20-minute conversation about
I'm confused. But basically her paperwork got messed up. She couldn't get it signed. So they're still engaged. And Fonzo told her, I still want to marry you, but let's continue with the engagement. So they had a huge engagement party. And I guess there was some issues with the family and the mom. And she said, I'm done. I'm over this. It's a lot. Can't deal with this shit. And she said she packed up her shit and they separated for a little while. She said she was living her best life. And she was enjoying herself and she loved it. But she did feel like something was missing. So she went back and she feels like she went back prematurely. Basically she, and Dr. Nicole gets in that ass. She's like, you don't even know what you want. You don't even know what you want. And she said, yes, I don't think I know what I want. And I haven't even expressed to him what I expect or what I want. So this is why he continues to do the same shit. So basically Dr. Nicole is trying to make her understand that, yes, y'all broke up and you took your space away, but there's no changes because there was no consequences. There was no, you need to do this before I come back, or this is what I need in order to come back. You just went back. It was just space. You just went back into the same bullshit that you left, and now you're mad about it. And Dr. Nicole helped her see that. And now she is talking about how, she fights so hard because she's trying to prepare herself because after this, she's never coming back. And she wants Fonzo to know that this is it. I don't care how many times you say it. He ain't going to believe it. We don't believe it.
We don't.
He don't believe it. You back after a whole bitch posted your man talking about that's the love of her life when you was about to walk down the aisle with him. Damn, he don't believe that. He don't believe that. I don't know what it's gonna take for you to leave. And you know what? I do like Shay. I like Shay.
I like Shay. I do.
I like Shay.
I just wish she had a higher self-esteem about herself.
And she should. And you know what? It bothers me. And I'm not saying like every woman shouldn't have a high self-esteem, right? But it boggles my mind when I see women like this who have so much going on, so much. She's beautiful. I don't know what she does for a living. But I don't know. When I look at her, I see so much value in her. And I see that she looks like the type that should have value in herself. So it just boggles my mind when I just see women like this that just have such a low self-esteem. It sucks, but I guess this is why, we need therapy. So
hopefully Dr. Nicole can fix that. The guys meet up for pool and they sitting there and they just talking about their shit. They having a couple libations and just getting it out.
Chicken wings and
I didn't
in heaven.
Right. I didn't catch the first part of the conversation. So would you like to reiterate?
They basically just talk about how their dates were. And Kenneth talks about how his girl was all over him and she was feeling him. And then Otis was saying the same thing, his date was all over him. And I guess Fonzo can't relate because Fonzo ain't really saying nothing.
He didn't get to have a chance to go on a date, so he won't know. He wouldn't know.
Yes. I mean, she seemed like she was feeling him, I thought. She was
feeling him, but they were only on the date for 5 minutes. So
I guess you got a point there.
Right. Fonzo, what I caught was Fonzo lets Kenneth know that before he tries to do anything, that he needs to get himself together. And he tries to explain to him how, which I don't know if I like this point, but it made sense. When women have more, their expectations are higher because they don't need you for certain shit. So now when I do need you.
Ain't quite the way he said it. You giving him a pass. You giving him a pass. What he said was, when women have more than you, they gonna talk their shit. So you need to get your shit together before you think about getting down on one knee, basically. And I'm not sure if I 100% agree with that, but I do know, I'm not gonna lie, I do know that some women will emasculate, men if they feel like they're not doing what they're supposed to, or they feel superior. Just like you said, she was a little rough, and she said she's out of his league and things like that. Like, she does a little bit. So I can agree in that respect. Really, you shouldn't be thinking about getting down on one knee until you do have your shit together. And we've been told over and over again that he does not. Then Otis, he says basically he is fresh out of arguments. If Shara wants to have arguments, she's gonna be arguing with herself, because it gets to a toxic level, and it's gonna deteriorate their relationship. So he ain't here for it. Then they asked Fonzo if he thinks he gonna get it for sure. Yes. Fonzo say, no, my head gonna explode.
Right. He said, I wouldn't know what to do.
Right. Then they all
Who gonna love me like this crazy girl?
Then they all basically agreed that, if they all got down on one knee and their partner said no, they ain't never asking again. Like, how you get the nerve, or Fonzo said get the balls to even do that shit again.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth said, if she say no after all of this, he might go join a cult. So we're walking into the group session, and Shorty lets us know that she has realized that it's important for her husband to take ownership and leadership of her family. And I don't.
Her husband?
Huh?
Her husband?
What'd I say?
You said her husband. I was like, Kenny, not her.
Well, she said her husband.
Oh, okay.
So she means the man she married. She didn't say Kenneth.
Oh, okay.
She said her husband.
I was just making sure we was clear. Mm-hmm.
She said husband, meaning if you ain't that, she does not plan to marry you. Okay. Right. And I don't think this is a new realization for her, but I think it's settling more into her spirit now that she's met men on these dates that are more of the type of man she's looking for. Okay. And she says, that Kenneth is not, he's not that. He's not that. And she's worried that he's not going to be able to provide or come up with a realistic plan as to how he can provide. And if he cannot, it's a deal breaker for her. So Dr. Nicole gets into Shorty and Kenneth dates first. And Shorty says she feels like it was a bit of a competition because, they were talking loud over each other, trying to see, who enjoyed their self more on their dates. And Dr. Nicole asked Kenneth, were you able to focus on your date? And he says, he was trying to focus, but he felt like, what was the girl name?
Her Charlana. Shit, I don't remember.
Well, he felt, we know you don't like her very much. So yeah. He felt like his date was more like homegirl. She gave like homie vibes. So, Dr. Nicole asked, were you attracted to her? And he said, he ain't really attracted to women out here like that or whatever. And it's like, no, he is. He's attracted to the women out here. But he know what he like. He knows what he's attracted to, and he is attracted to women out of his league. And let me tell you something. If you could have seen Fonzo's face,
Shade's face, Charlana's face, everybody in the room was like.
No, but see, I thought Fonzo was making a face that he made like, see, homie, this is what I meant. This is what I was telling you. You need to get your shit together, or else you're going to keep on hearing shit like this.
This, right?
Yep. Mouth.
You got points. Facts.
She says that, he didn't present himself initially in an honest manner. He presented himself to be more stable and like he had more than he actually did. And by the time, she knew any better, she was already in love with his ass, which she's told us before. And Kenneth feels like, yo, like she's trying to downplay me. Like I'm not capable of, going further or bettering myself. So Dr. Nicole, I think she realized this is a lot to unpack. And she's like, maybe we need to talk about this in a different space.
Yeah.
I agree because it's bad enough it's on national TV. But you got acquainted with these people here. So that makes it a little bit more embarrassing. You don't know us. Then they move on. Then Dr. Nicole moves on to Charlana and Otis. And Otis says, he thought that they went to go do hot yoga because it was super hot in there. Charlana's like, no, it was just regular yoga, but it was hot. And she's like, tell her about how
you was looking at her tattoos on her back. Tell her.
Tell her. And he's like, just relax, okay? And Charlene is like, basically, she does feel like he was attracted to her because he put on his thick chain. Why you wearing the chain to yoga? He put on his cologne. He's trying to look, smell all good and shit. And she was like, that he only wears his cologne when he's going out. And Shay's face is like, like, yeah, like that sound like
right?
me. The chain. Remember the day
she even texts a lot, Alfonso, like,
exactly. You remember that day she went on? She was like, why you put on your jewelry? Remember? That's why she was like, I can relate, girl. I can relate.
I can't too. Who you getting cute for?
I think her thing was like, because it's yoga, I guess.
No, I'm like, who you getting cute for? You just going to the golf course. Why you need a chain? And I don't understand.
Yeah, but he's not going on a date. Oh. So she says that before the date happened, they weren't in a good place because they were still arguing about how she was more transparent with her date and he wasn't. Like, damn, y'all, this is still an argument. Like,
right.
Damn.
I thought we can move past it at this point.
And Otis says basically he doesn't feel like he really has a safe space to, talk about this or talk about women or things like that. She's like,
because Charlana gets very upset when she hears about another woman, is what he tells her.
And she's like, I don't have an issue with women now. I do have one woman in particular. When you bring her up, yes, it does upset me. So Dr. Nicole says, would you like a safe space, a safe place to be able to talk? Would you? And they both agree that they do. And she says, you need to be what you want. So if that's what y'all want for each other, if that's what you want for yourself, that's what you need to be.
Come through, Dr. Nicole.
So then, so Otis says that he wants to exercise a deeper level of openness. And he reveals that he's been DMing Milan because they have mutual online friends. And I tell you, this shit took a turn for the fucking worse. We ain't never seen Charlana act like this. Okay.
All she wanted to answer not another motherfucking question. She was like, I'm ready to go. Give me my motherfucking key.
And all she heard was
Charlana
lying the entire time. He's been
I am here.
DMing this bitch. Oh, and look, and I love how Shay, she's like, Like, she's like, what? Like, she's like, it couldn't have been me. Because had you told me that he was out here DMing, I would have been like, well, DMing everybody. I'd have been DMing the whole world. Like, if you can do it, I can do that shit too. And Otis is over here. I wish you had a lighter, Trace. Gaslighting. Talking about, oh, well, we never had any rules about DMing. And she was like, we just had a conversation yesterday that we wasn't going to text. And to me, that's the same shit. Oh, it's not.
That's like a nigga saying, oh, I hit her up in WhatsApp. No, nigga.
Right? And she's just like, yo, just shut up. Just stop talking to me. I don't want to hear shit else. And I mean, it just got bad. It just got bad, y'all. Then Dr. Nicole tries to move on to
Charlana's date.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. She tries to move on to Charlana's date. And Charlana's like, she don't even know if she could really, talk about.
But she big mad. She big mad. She just want to leave and say, nigga. Like, she's like, I'm done. Like, this is old. I'm not, I don't want to do this anymore. This, whatever we're doing, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go.
Yeah, she was like, you talking about how this girl is a little kid and she runs the streets and you're not interested. Now, you all in this girl's DMs. I said, oh my God. It was It was a lot. So then Dr. Nicole tells, she says, self-awareness and ownership is really important, but she feels like the disconnect comes, nigga, when it's time, like you get like this little blank ass stare and shit, when it's time for you to recognize how your actions are affecting your dynamic. I will agree with that one. But then, yeah, Charlana is asked to move on to talk about her date. And she's like, that's going to be hard. But, basically, like I said before, it was okay.
He's cool.
Guy,
he's respectful.
He's educated.
And I wasn't even paying no attention
to Otis and his date. So Charlana she's just pissed. She's just pissed. She's just pissed. Then Dr. Nicole tries to move on to Bonzo and Shay. And then we see the camera cut back to Charlana and she's like, you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. I said, she was like, you out here embarrassing me? I'm embarrassed the fuck out of you. I was like, oh my
What did I tell you last review? I said there is competition there. They try to one up each other.
Dr. Nicole was like, is there something y'all want to share? And Charlana's like, no, I want to go home. Give me the keys. I want to go home. And apparently he told her no. She was like, don't tell me no. I want to leave. Give me the keys. I was like, oh my Jesus. And Ona's going to pick up where they left off come next episode. Okay. So we're going to be into the thick of it.
Please make sure you guys like,
you comment,
you subscribe,
and you hit the notification bell.
And we will catch you next week for another crazy review of Put a Ring on it. Hope nobody don't put a bullet in somebody's ass.
Right.
Y'all have a good night.
Because he got her fucked up.
Right? Love y'all. Mwah.
Good night.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hey!